And welcome back, and we're moving into our final segment for today as we find out more about some upcoming yoga training happening through Airbender Yoga Studio. And we have with us Ashanti Garcia, who is a yoga instructor, obviously, at Airbender Yoga Studio. And we have Breanna Brown, who is a visiting yoga instructor as well. Good morning.
Good morning. It was so nice to have you guys in. And of course, Ashanti, it's always nice to have you in. So, Bikram, whenever you get here, there's always something new. And you made us did some things. So she made us do some stuff like, my gosh. But Bikram Yoga, what is that?
Let her explain. That's
all right, so here we go, Breanna. What is Bikram Yoga?
Bikram Yoga is heated yoga. It's usually at 105 degrees. It's 90 minutes. We do 26 postures twice, 2 breathing exercises. Ashanti got to try last night for the first time among a few other people here in Belize City. It was really awesome. So they did awesome. You know, at the beginning I was wondering, and at the end, all smiles, all bliss. So
all sweat.
All sweat. That's exactly what I mean. Maybe it was a tear, but I'm going to call it sweat. But no, the idea behind it, people were coming in, the room is so hot, where are the fans, the doors, and that's not life, you know. Life isn't candles and chanting and holding hands in circles. Life is hot and sticky, solid waste management. I mean, it's intense. It gets intense. And how do you manage yourself under the intensity of life? So that's what we do.
So Breanna, you are a traveling yoga instructor. How does one fall into this lifestyle, please?
You do what you love, and then people start paying you for it.
How long have you been practicing?
For 4.5 years.
Okay. And what made you interested in teaching yoga in Belize?
Well, I came here for a friend's wedding, and the next idea as a traveling yoga teacher is there yoga here?
Yeah.
And then when I found that there is some yoga, let's do it. And then I found there's no Bikram Yoga, which she was even more excited. Let's do it even more. And so, I mean, yoga is everywhere, and I'm so proud of Ashanti and Frida and Belma Pan. They're like really cultivating it here, and I mean,
so
awesome.
after you got here, you found out yoga is here. What is it like working along with Belizeans and doing yoga?
It's awesome. It's fun. For me, it's a little bit different than my usual crowd because I step into a Bikram Yoga Studio.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, everyone
to expect.
I mean, people were like, I'll lead. And I'm like, well, just, let's move together.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's from scratch. And when there's a clear slate, people are open.
Yeah.
So there's no beliefs. When someone walked in, they said, what can I expect? I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And Ashanti and I like high-fived. We're like, perfect. She doesn't know what to expect. And that's where something you can grow with a clean slate. So it's been great with Belizeans.
So 40 degrees Celsius, right? Right?
Yeah.
How do you get a room to be 40 Celsius?
It's not too hard here, honestly. You just close the
You
windows.
just close the windows and have no air.
Yes.
We close everything and we don't put on any fans, and
Really?
it gets very warm. And my studio is fully cemented, so the air literally like gets trapped from the day, and the classes
Perfect
she's
scenario
teaching are in afternoon,
for Bikram
evening.
Yoga.
So it's perfect. I was like, don't worry about that.
Did you have like first timers at your class, or it was mostly experience, or people who've done it before?
Everybody who came to the classes are people who've done yoga with me. So they're experienced, but new to Bikram. I did it for the first time last night, and I have total respect for these people because it's like, it was the hardest class I've ever done. And I've been doing yoga for over 6 years, so actually like 8 years now.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me. So certain portions, so it is challenging, but you have modifications, variations.
I was about to say, some of those postures are not beginner level.
No, this is a beginner class.
Yeah.
It is?
So
is
when
a
you
beginner.
see some
They
of the
don't look
images, like for the one here, it's a second row and the second box, the standing bow, she's doing like splits.
Okay.
So everyone isn't doing splits.
Yeah,
No.
they just have their
So
leg
what
up.
are you doing? You're kicking.
And everybody's forward fold is not that key.
Exactly, yes. That is probably the trickiest one that I found yesterday for some people.
Yeah. So you guys just took me off. What is the forward fold?
Number
2,
5.
3, 4. Yes, 5
5
from
to
the
the
top.
top.
5 to the top.
Yep, from the left.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a goner.
We have a really trick in Bikram Yoga, we just bend the knees and then you touch the floor. It's
Yeah.
So
very
let's get
advanced.
let's get into this because Ashanti, you've been doing, like you said, for about 8 years now, and then Bikram. What I'm getting at in my mind is that Bikram is actually adding some heat and some more pose to it. Is that it? What's the difference between what you do and what she does?
How should we? Well, first of all, in my classes, everything is open. Like we have air flowing. So that's like the primary difference. The other thing is this is a set sequence. Like it doesn't change unless you're doing the intermediate series, right? Mine is a little bit similar. Like we have a set sequence too, but it can change also based on the person's level.
Yeah.
So I feel like Bikram is more of a structured practice, while what I teach has a little bit more leeway.
Flexibility.
In terms
Very, very structured.
Very
And
structured.
The idea is that you do as much as you can where you are.
Okay.
You know, if you're not doing this, you're trying to do it. It's not, you know, we don't, every person gets a modification. Oh, you can't do this, you do this, you do this.
It's not like that.
Try from
go
the
as far as you
beginning
can.
as you can,
Yes.
and then practice the ancient technique known as wait.
Yeah.
Wait for it to happen instead of
With more practice. though.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is if you change the posture, you don't change your life. You don't, I mean, essentially your life, but you don't change you. You modify everything to suit you, which is what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26 poses,
Two
2
breathing
rounds.
exercises.
How long does that? 2 breathing exercises twice.
Yes.
Right? How long does this take?
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
90 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how fast moving is this class?
Not very fast
Not
at
fast.
all.
No, that seems
Really?
fast.
No.
So what do you do with row 3, picture 1? How do you keep that pose for probably about
So-
2 or 3 minutes?
No, you don't hold, no. The maximum posture that you hold is for 1 minute.
Okay.
There are breaks between every posture, just a moment to gather yourself. It's not like power
Okay.
through, you know. And then in the floor series, we actually have a savasana between each posture.
Okay.
So you're doing some work, you're resting.
You're resting.
Doing some
Okay.
work and you're resting. But this toe stand that you're referring to,
Yes.
the posture before it is tree pose,
Yeah.
which might sound a little bit familiar.
Yeah, tree
But if you can't do toe stand, you're doing tree pose, which is
Okay.
opening you up for that toe stand.
Yeah.
So again, the modifications are in the sequence. There's
Okay.
no need for me to truly be like, oh, you just go do something, you know.
Else. Yeah.
No, and you I would imagine you want to ensure that people are doing it safely as well. So, but you're not only doing this class with
No.
your training that you're offering or your
We've got
classes
some
that you're offering
workshops
here.
coming up this
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh.
So tell
great.
us all that you'll be doing. So first of all, if somebody wants to get a Bikram class,
That would be this Thursday
okay,
at my studio, 5:30 p.m. and 7:15 p.m.
2 classes.
Yes, and it's $20 to drop in. Half of the proceeds will go towards fundraising for an Unstoppable training program, which will train Belizeans to deal with youths using yoga techniques. So it's
I think
actually
it's
for a
awesome.
good cause. So feel free to donate more than $20 towards the cause. And then the other Bikram classes will be next week, Tuesday, same time, 5:30 p.m. and 7:15 p.m. And then the workshops are coming up this weekend. Saturday is the inversion workshop with Breanna. That's
Inversion.
Yeah.
What does one need an inversion workshop for?
inversion, meaning we go upside down, but we are
that's
preparing
not
you. Yeah, that's like
Back
perfect
bending.
picture for the back bend workshop,
Yeah,
which
that's
is happening
back
on
bend.
Sunday. But inversion means like you go upside down. Like that
Like
is all
that.
a combination of two. Like she's upside down and she's also doing a back bend in this.
So if you come Saturday and Sunday, you can do this one.
Probably not.
Yeah. And then the arm balancing workshop, because we can't forget that she's also traveling to Belmopan.
Yeah.
So there'll be Bikram today
Yeah, 5:45.
in Belmopan at 5:45 p.m. at the YWCA, and that one is by donation.
Yeah.
So you can give
Donation.
whatever you want
Which
or
is
can.
a really great way to try.
To
you
try
know,
it
a lot
out.
of people, even in the States, the conflict is first time and then money.
Yeah.
And so when you have donation, it's a great way to try. You know, there's no pressure or anything like this. It's
money.
come and see. You've been thinking about it, you heard about it,
Yeah.
I want to move, you know, let's move together and see what it's about. You
Yeah.
know? And then if it's on your heart. But I think it's the best way to try something without having to give so much, is just come and see what happens.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Then
So there's a yoga studio in Belmopan?
Well, we're using, I should mention that Frida Jean Ramirez, she is the affiliate of my studio.
Okay.
So we have an affiliate studio in Belmopan. We don't have a space that has like all the colors of my studio. So we just say affiliate.
Okay.
And she's using the YWCA space to hold the classes. So her classes, her Bikram class will be there today at 5:45 p.m. And then she'll be doing an arm balancing workshop the following Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Lots coming up.
So a first timer can definitely fit into a Bikram class.
Yes.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you see like that picture that was just up. You see it and you're like, no way, no how. And even when you look at the kind of calendar pictures there, you're looking at toe stand and you're like, yeah, of course. Next lifetime. But again, the intention is to do as much as you can with what you have. And, you know, that's not going to look like what I'm doing or what your neighbor's doing or what maybe even you did yesterday. You know, every day is different, and that's kind of the beauty of keeping a structure.
Yeah.
Your day changes, you eat differently, you wake up differently, you sleep differently, but you get to come in here and do the same thing and bring it back in. So
All right.
it's really good.
So you'll be doing some stuff as well, right?
Yes, I will.
26 poses, 40 degrees, 90 minutes. All right. So
But let me ask you before you do that though.
Yeah.
Why would you encourage people to try yoga?
Why would I encourage people to
You go
try
all
yoga?
over the world. I'm sure you work with first timers and experienced people who practice yoga. But what do you find to be the greatest benefit?
I feel that a lot of people, when they think of yoga, it's physical. A lot of people come in, especially to hot yoga, I want to lose weight. I want to get more flexible. I want to get strong. And in my mind, these are all perks.
Yeah.
These are like the bonuses after you get paid. For me, the yoga payoff is more on a metaphysical level.
Yeah.
You know, yoga brings you back to who you are. People come in the room, they start the class, and they think, I'm here. And then after 90 minutes, they realize they're somewhere else.
yeah.
They're not weak or all these things that they've associated that aren't them. They feel they're very strong and confident, and people leave feeling better every single time. Even when they come in and people say, oh, after this, I already know I'm going to feel better. Because throughout your life, your day, you associate yourself as things that you aren't. And then for 90 minutes, you find out who you really are. The times that say like, oh, I couldn't do this, I can't, and everything gets overcome. So for me, that's the payoff, is remembering who you are and all the things that you say you are.
So that coming in and saying this is gonna hurt, you know, that wouldn't be something that you'd want to do.
No, it's not gonna hurt. It's just going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
So,
But a good challenge.
Yeah.
It's a
Good-
personal
yeah.
challenge.
Yes.
And you know, all these postures, some you're really good at, and then
Yeah.
you have some of them are challenging, and then you're like, why is that one easy for them and not for me? Because that's where you are. You know, it's in any life. Why is some things easier for some people
Somebody
and some
else.
not?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're here and that's what you're doing. So, I mean, that's the payoff for me, is just remembering the truth. You know?
And hot yoga is really popular. I think people really look for it for the sweating portion. They
Yes,
see
yes,
more
yes,
calories
yes.
burning.
Yes.
But it does include some work as well, obviously.
Yes, there were a few women last night that were like, I sweat more than at the gym for an hour. And I'm like, yes, this is true. And in the gym, you're like...
No, because see, people would always associate sweating with actually moving and rapid movement. So doing yoga, which you're not moving very fast and you're sweating that much,
Yeah.
They're
it
like-
does something to the mind, of course.
Yes, it does.
And sweat, I mean, has been used for thousands of years for spiritual reasons of cleansing, of detoxification, and we've just added some gentle stretches in there.
Okay. So we'll get a sample this morning,
awesome.
right?
So I'm just gonna take this time and demonstrate a few of the postures that we'll be doing in the beginner's class tonight in Belmopan at 5:45. So first is half moon. And again, so your full expression is wherever you are today. Okay, it might not look like mine or someone next to you. Your idea is to get into your deepest expression and be still and breathe. So you saw these on the pictures earlier. From here, and this is right at the beginning of the class after we do our breathing exercise. This is your warm-up, so you're gonna do a backward bend. For a lot of people, the backward bend is here. Their intention is still the same as the people that are going way back, okay? And we'll get into this on Sunday, how to deepen your backward bend with correct alignment. Now, John, this next one's for you.
Okay.
This is the forward fold. I get people here. Oh, I can't touch the floor, and it's very advanced. You just bend your knees, and voila, magic, you touch the floor. This is advanced stuff here. Okay, and then we kind of shake it out to release the backward bend. I've got shoes on, I forgot to take them off, no problem. And then you'll relax forward. Again, if that's not your full expression, your knees may still be bent, you're still trying to grab and get to the full expression. So these are modifications. They're not modifications, they're just doing as much as you can.
Yes.
Okay, you'll rise back up. Later in the class, we'll get to our master posture. It's known as triangle pose. Okay, a little bit of a hip opening. By this point of the class, Ashanti, you can probably remember.
Yes.
Little intense.
It is intense.
Okay, this is like the extent of climbing that mountain, getting your heart rate up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we also do with some compression postures. Good for your metabolism, cutting off your thyroid gland. So again, these are gentle movements, and between each posture, we have a moment's time to, again, breathe and get some stillness again. Catch your breath and kind of refocus. Do that mental pep talk.
Just makes that look so easy.
Yeah.
In 4 years of everyday doubles, I mean, this is my life. This is my life's work. So those are all postures that we do in the beginner's class.
Okay.
On Saturday, we'll be working towards some inversions.
So can we ask who would want to go to, who should go to an inversion class?
Anyone who's curious?
Yeah. So even if you've never done yoga before, you may make use of an inversion class?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So again, like Ashanti was saying, it's just the idea of getting upside down.
Okay.
We're upright all the time.
Yes, we are.
And then when we get turned around, it's
Like it's another world. You don't know.
everything is, a blur. And the idea is that even when you're walking, it's kind of dangerous. Sometimes you trip, and then what happens to your body? So let's move in any way we can all the time so that we're never caught off guard. So you're saying, for the inversions, you've never done yoga. On Saturday, we're gonna work on alignment here, making sure everything's in position. We'll be working towards postures like your headstand. So, first time ever doing yoga. Maybe this is where you are. Your knees are off the ground, and guess what? You're still upside down. You have still inverted yourself, which is different than being upright.
Yeah.
So already
Still have
winning.
that blood rushing to your brain.
Already winning, already with us, okay? So then say you're ready to move on. Again, ready to move forward. Interested in trying something else. Maybe feeling a little wild or dangerous. But it's not dangerous as long as you're more curious than you are afraid. So again, we'll be doing building blocks to positions like headstand, like forearm stand, and other ways to get yourself upside down. We'll also be doing some strengthening exercises, things with the wrists, the forearms, and waking up. The idea with being on your hands is it's like being on your feet, okay? We're always on our feet. If you lift one foot up, your foot will show you how much it's actually working to keep you stable. It's the same as your hands and your forearms. You just have to spend a little bit more time on them. So on Saturday, we'll be doing some of that.
Okay.
On Sunday, we'll be doing some backward bending.
And why do we need to bend our backs? I mean, the opposite direction. We bend it this way all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
not right now, of course.
Yes.
On TV, come on.
But backward, the posture is one of the,
Yes. So backward bending, again, if you see aging, it looks like this. You get shrinking, and it's only because you've rounded. So for one, I refer to backward bending as the anti-aging. Okay, you keep your spine long, simply by just counteracting this motion. But when you backward bend, on a physical level, you're expanding, you're opening up your heart, and all of your organs are opening wide, okay? You're also compressing your spine. And then when you come out, all the blood rushes through and back out, giving you energy. I call camel pose the coffee. You know.
Let's see it.
Let's see what's
So
there.
instead of you grabbing your cup of coffee,
That's not gonna happen.
you do camel. Right now, my spine is compressed. No blood is getting through. Nothing can go through. When I come out, blood rushes. I mean, if everyone had a snap of their face coming out of camel,
Oh yeah.
you know,
not look pretty.
I joke, it's not really funny, but people, you know, pay lots of money for that rush. People
Yeah.
do take drugs for that kind of release.
Yeah.
You do camel and you do a backward bend, like you're asking, you do a backward bend and you come out and you feel that.
Yeah.
On more of the kind of metaphysical, spiritual level for me, we're always rounding forward because we're always striving forward.
Yeah.
What's the next job? What's the next raise? What's the next thing? And so for me, it's natural that our bodies are doing this.
forward.
Our mind is like next. And when you backward bend, it's altering because you're like backward means negative, I'm backsliding, don't look in the past. But really, it just aligns you to the present because you're already doing this. You're not going to end up here. You're just going to end up aligned and straight. So.
Cool.
That was a very convincing way of getting people to try back bends.
Extremely cool.
One of the
So,
most difficult things because
Yeah.
people are holding on to this forward
Yeah.
motion, and I'm
Yeah.
like, let it
Release.
go, just like try, you know, a little at a time.
okay. Is it dangerous? Do you have to be in good shape to attend these workshops?
What is good shape?
I don't know.
You
If I
tell us.
have a bad back, you know, I
Yeah.
have
Then
lower
backward
back.
bend. Then
It's
backward.
good
Like
for you.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good for you.
Yes.
You have a bad back.
So you'll work with them where they are.
Yes, I'll meet you where you are. All I ask is that you meet me with openness, you know, and tell me, you know, if people have back pain. My mother actually, she had chronic back pain. She works at a desk all the time, and so her back was just from sitting like this, it's
Yeah.
smashed. You know, there's no space ever. And the doctor said you should get shots, and I was like, don't do it, Mom. Don't listen to the doctors. You know, they have to send their kids to Harvard too. And so she started doing Bikram Yoga with me. And if you have back pain, it's going to feel very intense.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that I learned from her being at my age and no injuries. I didn't understand. I'm like, Mom, just do it. Like, just go back. And she's like, Bree, it is giving everything I have right now just to be doing some of the start. The start of class, my back is already aggravated. And so if you do have back pain, it will feel more intense for you. But it is so much better for you than people who are not having back pain.
Yeah.
You have to strengthen your back again. You have to rejuvenate it, and to avoid it is only prolonging and letting
Yeah.
it stay there. So
Okay.
Cool.
Fantastic. So tonight you'll be in Belmopan.
yes.
5:45, right? At 5.
Bikram
At
Yoga is taking the bus to
YWCA.
Belmopan and Belize. You know.
And then tomorrow in Belize
In
City.
Belize City at Airbender Yoga Studio.
Two classes.
2 classes, 5:30 p.m. and 7:15 p.m.
Okay. And then this weekend, your 2 workshops.
2 workshops, inversion workshop, 3 to 5 p.m. Saturday, and backbend workshop, 3 to 5 p.m. Sunday, both at Airbender Yoga Studio.
And next week.
Next week, arm balance workshop is Wednesday in Belmopan at 5:30 p.m. And then also in at my studio here, we will have another Bikram class at 5:30 and 7:15
On
p.m.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
There you go, the full
Excellent.
lineup. If somebody wants to contact you, find out more information, how do they do that?
Well, they can text, call, WhatsApp me at 620-4230 to confirm their participation or to ask more questions.
Yeah.
And then, they get.
Contribution is $20.
For the classes, for the workshops, it's $70 each.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in,
thank
and we
you.
hope people take advantage of learning a new style of yoga and even
Yes.
doing some of the workshops to make themselves
Yes.
better.
I hope you can make it.
Yes.
Same, likewise.
We're going to go ahead and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap up, so stay tuned.